Ooh, I start 1 minute early. I start 1 minute early. But that's okay. We'll give the people them 1 minute. We'll give the people them 1 minute to jump in. Um, what school is that way? What school is that in the background? If you're from that school, say something. And maybe I'll decide what school we will pick next for the next session. So I'm hoping that we can do this every night until exams. So we're gonna start in 1 minute or so. Jump in early. Jump in early. So yeah, back coming back. So again. Well, yeah, on Sully invite me. That was a good vibes. Good evening, Josiah. Good evening, vibes. Um, TG Production, Claudia, Leah. Good to see all of you all here. I need you all to press like on the video. I need you all to share it up. Let everybody know we 2024. We off the big things. We off the big things. I see CXC.TT on Instagram. Share. I mean CXC.TT on Instagram. I'll check them out. They share boy. CXC.TT. What an exam season. Oh, you can see it off here. What an exams. Huh. Oh gosh, I felt killing it. I felt that. Do you know it's supposed to do it? Let go and check it out. And the man said this is just the first exam. All right, so it's 7 o'clock. It's 7 o'clock. It's time to start. I don't want to make too much in between time in the live. I don't want to have too much downtime. I want to just flow. We must just flow. So manifesting grade 1. Let me just pull up some people here. Vibes, what is you see? I don't know if I'm allowed to say the first part of your name. You know, now we got to be politically correct. Kerwin, I hope you make a Netflix series again. Yeah, once I get the time, I'm doing everything this year. What is good? Can you do an English paper 3 too? That's one thing I can't do. So, you know, we are pumpkin vine cousins, real talk. What is the scene, cousin? Oh, I'm cousin. Invite me over and all, you know, full of meditation. All right, so let me go. Question 1. This is what we're going to study today. So it can be easy for some people. Let me know if you all are hearing me. Just read the audio out of 10. Audio out of 10. I'm not in the student hub, right? So I'm not using like a really good mic. But I piped one of the cameras from the student hub. Borrowed. We don't steal anything across here. It's my camera. So this camera is really good actually for webcam. So audio is 9 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10, everybody say. And the video quality is good, right? You all know the drill. If anybody comes in and they can't get the what they say low resolution or fuzzy or blurry, just let them know to go and increase the resolution in the corner, right? They should know the drill by now. So this question is with 9 marks, and the topics are computation. And this is something math teachers say: computation and numeration, and nobody really know what in the world we mean when we say computation and numeration. Everybody know what we mean when we say consumer arithmetic. Consumer arithmetic. Computation and numeration is just this kind of topics. How well you do fractions arithmetic, and not consumer arithmetic, normal arithmetic, adding, subtracting, also operations, like even what I want to say, standard note is not a good sign, but like a tired scientific notation, standard form, also approximations, all of that falls under that bucket, right? So let's go. We'll be able to get in a lot of topics. Somebody wants me to go over ratio. So before we start, let's just mention what a ratio is about. So in ratio, it's like ratio is like fancy fraction. So we're doing question 1 here and we study, and I want to be as interactive as possible, right? Ratio is like fancy fractions. You could think of it like that. So it's on the same idea like fractions. Well, let's say I have $100 and I shared it between my 3 sons in the ratio of 2 to 5 Let's say 2 to 3 to 5. 2 to 3 to 5. Or let's just say 6 to 4, 7 to 3. 7 to 3. All right. Why am I so indecisive here? So I have 2 sons. There's my 2 sons here. Actually, I have 3, but for this, we'll just go back a little year or 2. I have 2 sons, and I share it in the ratio 7 to 3. Everybody could see quickly that this person will get $70 and this person will get $30. The key to ratios, remember this, because CSEC is bringing a lot of ratios. Are they taking notes and are they paying attention? We studying it. So the key to ratios is that you see, what's the key to ratios? Some of y'all in my classes, y'all already know the key to ratios. The key to ratios is finding for 1. That's the key to ratios, finding for 1. So sometimes before you find for 1, you have to find a way to get the total or some kind of quantity. And the finding for 1 process, this is usually a division process. You equate a certain quantity to part of the ratio. So how do we do that? Well, we have how many parts in all? The total number of parts. How many parts? The total parts is 7 plus 3 is 10. And then you write this. You'll do this a lot in ratio. You'll identify the number of parts and equate it to a quantity. 10 parts use this arrow like this earlier, represents $100. And then this is the working, right? I'm showing you how we get behind the idea. 1 part will equal 100 over 10, which is $10. And from this, once we find for 1 part, you have the key. I said this is the key for ratios. Once you have the 1 part, pay attention, everybody. Once you have the 1 part, this is the key. 1 part equal $10. So now I can figure out what 7 parts is. So 7 parts would be equal to 7 times 10 is 70. You all know another thing that they ask all the time? They might ask what's the difference between the highest and lowest. So there's 2 ways to do it. You could find each person part individually and then minus 70 minus 30. Or you could take the 7 and minus it from the 3 one time. So 7 minus 3 is equal to how much? 4 parts. And then you'll be like, 1 part is 10, so 4 parts is 40. So that's just a little quick look at ratio there. Let's jump into the question and we're going to see some more ratios pop up sooner or later. This is actually from January this year. Look at your neighbor and say things from this year, bro. This year things, bro. This year things. So this year somebody actually do this question. Not somebody, the whole Caribbean who did it in January, right? So expressed as a single fraction in its simplest form. The first thing to do in this question, what is the first thing to do in this question? As a matter of fact, let me bring up my whole screen to show you what is the first thing to do in this question. I'll make sure I bring up the right screen here. Boom. Let me show you what's the first thing to do in this question. What's the first thing to do in this question? Big up everybody from this school one time who in the chat. Tomorrow we're going to pick our next school to pop day. I'll like tell me what school it is. The first thing to do is use your calculator. Imagine a teacher telling her that. The first thing to do is use your calculator. And hopefully you'll listen to my cries over the years. And anytime you're on this channel, and you get a good calculator that could just type it in straight like this. Hopefully. I get real fight down in the beginning. I just need to go and look at the old videos. I see teachers and things fighting me down for this calculator. And now all of them recommending the calculator. So get a calculator similar to this, right? And you get 7/10. You know why you do that? You just secure 1 mark at least. In some cases, you secure the whole marks because in some questions they say use in a calculator. So we know it's 7/10 now. So we're gonna write that 7/10. Now you do the question like how you're supposed to do it. So 1/38 plus 4/15. So it's 1 minus, you're hitting them the what? We're gonna hit them of the denominators there. You know the drill? What is that word? LCM. It stands for lowest common multiple. It's the number that 15 and 30 could go into first. Of course, there's 60, but 30 is better. 30 is better. 30 is the actual lowest common multiple. 30 goes into 30 one time, so just put back the 1 there. You all know the drill. 15 will go into 30 actually 2 times. So the 2 comes up now and multiplies by the 4 to give us 8, like that. So we end up with, let's keep working down. Let's keep working straight down like this. This was the answer that we put from the beginning. Oh no, whiteboard cannot be sticking already. Where is this boy whiteboard boy? So what we have, boy, 1 plus 8 is what? Not 9? 1 plus 8 is not 9. 9 out of 30. Already seen the answer here and already seen that this will 21 and the correct trend. On my whiteboard already starting to play the mocolocks here, boy. What is this? So 1 minus 9, 1 minus 9 30th. 1, how you want to think of 1 is like 30 over 30. You catch what I'm saying? Eh? I might have to bring all the Jamboard and there. You want to think of 1 as 30 over 30. 30 out of 30 minus 9 out of 30. Very quickly, you'll get 21 out of 30. Which is the same as divide everything by 3. And you get the same thing we get from long time by 7 out of 30. Don't worry, the show must go on. I know whiteboard not working too good these days. So I was prepped for this. I'm still deciding which software I can make like my main now. It's definitely not Jamboard, but I'm using Jamboard right. The reason I'm not going to make Jamboard my main is because I don't like how it's working and it's going to shut down in a little bit. So they should be seeing the Jamboard right there now. If you just close whiteboard, you fail there again you fail me. Yeah, so I have the Jan papers right here. Let's do the second part in Jan paper. That's this question. That's this question here. You can go ahead and tell me the answer. I know a lot of you all do it for, how many of you all get the Jan paper for mock exams? So it's not only the Jan I'm going to do it, yeah, you see what this man's saying? This man's saying here? That's not true. I'm talking about the Casio since 2019. Thousands of students use the Casio. If your teacher tell you you can't do that, they're fighting you down. A 2-story car park has a total of, we're using that Casio since I in school. A 2-story car park has a total of this amount of parking spaces at 6:30 hours, 0630 hours, one morning, 1/30th of this amount of spaces are filled. During the next hour, no cars left the car park, but another 4/15 of the, so this is additional. This question testing your patience on how well you could read these questions. Determine the number of parking spaces that are not filled at 7. So the best thing to do is add these two fractions first. Are you agree? Instead of working out how much fill and then working out how much more fill in terms of spaces, but I just add these two fractions. That's what I have to do at the end of the day. So my best bet is to add the two fractions. You all agree with me? So I want to add these two fractions. 1/30th was filled at first. So filled now is going to be 1/30th plus 4/15. Now this is calculator time to shine here again. But I could also say 4/15 is the same as 8/30th, and I end up with what my same 9/30th that I did recently. I got this 9/30th from the question before, something like that. 1/30th and 4/15. So is that they're repeating the idea? Nice job, CSEC. So not filled will have to be 1 minus 9/30th. So repeating the same idea, which is 21/30th, which is the same thing from before. What a quaint thing to do, to repeat the same idea. I guess that's why this question is with 1 mark. So now the real test of the question is really to see spaces, to change the fraction to spaces, and it's 7/10. Because remember the 21/30th was 7/10. You multiply this by the amount of spaces that I have. This space is not filled there. So, and this turns out to be 7/14. Everybody's saying it's 7/14. So you all understand this? So what is being tested here? Of course, every time you do a question, you need to take away the meat out of the question, of the bone. Take away the meat. What is the meat of this question here? So the meat is that's being tested here is a fraction of a quantity. A fraction of a quantity. And those of you all who did SEA, which will be nearly everybody here, you all know this is a SEA style question. And there's also a use of remainder fraction here, minusing from 1, minusing from the whole. So I saw 1 or 2 persons in the chat saying I don't understand. If you don't understand this, that's quite worrying. That's telling you, Frank, I telling you big. right? Saying it in big, you understand? If you didn't catch this one yet, that little worrying, but we're examining 10 days. Yeah, real work to do, right? So just to recap, we get how much was filled all together by adding up the fraction. We got the remainder fraction by taking away from the whole, and then we got this fraction multiplied by the quantity to find out how many spaces were not filled all together, right? So this is the answer right there. 7:14 is what you all told me. By 7:30 hours, that's what's going on. There's another part to this question. Let me just show you. And this part, I guess, is going to be using percentages. This is percentages of, so that's the meat of this part. So it's 20% are on the top level. 20% on the top level, guys. 20% on the top level. So what that mean? How many on the top level? So top level. How many are you all on the top level of studying? 20%. Or maybe on the mid-level, mids. Or some are you all on ground level. 20% of 1020. This basically is just simple 20 over 100 months. So this is computation and numeration percentages. 2 times that, what we're looking at, 204 is the answer. 204 spaces. 204 parking spaces on the top level. What's next was this question just kept on giving. Boy, this question have long pants. Some people was doing some reservations and things in this car park. So here we go. Reservations in the car park. Some of these spaces are reserved for monthly paying customers. The ratio of reserved spaces to non-reserved spaces is 5. We're getting to see a little ratio. We're getting to show ratio a little love here, everybody. And you know we love ratios. Could draw arrow through the heart, all kind of thing. So how do we do this? Calculate the number of non-reserved. Well, some of these spaces are reserved. The ratio of reserved to non-reserved. This is out of the whole. So the ratio is out of the whole, which was 10, what was it? 1020. All these spaces was 1020 class. I think it was 1020. So this is where the ratio is applied. And I think with the ratio, reserve to non-reserve. That means the first number is 5, the second number is 7. And we are interested in this 7. Now, the entire ratio or total parts, to get that, we need to add the 5 plus the 7 together. And we know that's 12 as a number fact. So we have 12 parts here. And we are looking at, it's smelling like they're burning the bake downstairs. Hey, are they burning the roads here? They eat after this class. Them can't forget. Thing like this side of them burning this side of the 7 out of 12. So total spaces. So non-reserved spaces. Non-reserved. So y'all just give me a little second to just make sure I ain't getting. And what it's saying is that if you use a calculator here, you're gonna end up with 595, which is 595. 595. So just to show you all the use of the calculator, you're just gonna press the fraction like that, 7 over 12, and you multiply this by the 1020, and straight up your calculator giving you that 595 spaces. So let me just put the next question on the board and make sure I ain't gonna be hungry after the maths class. I'm done tired already. Notice to be tired and hungry is something we had to pick a struggle. So they give me this. This is the next question. You all can look at it. And then they ask me about Michaela. So I seen money involved here. So right, we into the consumer arithmetic part of the question then. This is the consumer arithmetic part of the question. Collect that first, Maxine. Lubia, it's burning up. Things burning. Suspicious, right? I tell you, danger averted. Like it's popcorn and bread. Okay. So yeah, look at the next part. So Michaela leaves the car park at 18. Wait. Did the same car park question already going on here? So leaves the car park at 18:30 hours and pays 9:25. The cost of parking. Not sure. I don't understand. How long she was in that car park for? I don't understand. What's going on here? Michaela leaves the car park. I guess she came in. When she came in, Michaela, when you come in this car park, boy, a two-story, blah, 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 blah. Now, they want you to figure out when she arrived and read the whole question. Determine the earliest time that she could have arrived. Ha ha ha. And read the whole question. That'll be a lesson there. Read the whole question. So all the information given. So she paid 9:25. So more than 4 hours and up to 8 hours. What is the earliest time? So the longest she could have stayed, longest time in car park has to be 8 hours. I put $8, 8 hours. You all agree with me? If she spent 9:25, that's this. So this question ain't really no maths here. There's like a common sense question. You know, everybody know what parking tickets and thing, right? So if you spend 9:25, that means you could the longest you could stay is up to 8 hours. So if she was there 18:30, come on. The earliest time has to be you put the 18:30 and you minus the 8 hours. And you get the 10. You get the 10 hours. You see on my handwriting start to get so I'm gonna try and bring it back here. So this is the earliest time. What's the next part? Did I put 10, 0, 10, 10, 30, right? Dan Raj. The next part of the question is about Dan. Come on, mouse. Don't fight me. Don't know. So let me see what Dan Raj doing here. Okay. You see what Dan Raj doing. I don't know if anybody named Dan Raj these days. That's a popular name for the uncles and them back in the days. Dan Raj bought a weekly parking ticket for $40. Down the graph, down the table too. Yeah, boy. Dan Raj, you thinking big? He buy the vehicles. That week he visited the car park 5 different times. The length of time he parked his car on each occasion is given below. Boom, 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 boom. And they want you to show that he saved money. So this is a very interesting question. Hi, Kali, so is he see? So this is a very interesting question. So that wrong? Nah, nothing I do wrong so far. I feeling good about all my answers. 10:30. Yeah. So anyhow, I'm sure that Dan Rad saved 850. You all understand what the question is asking. So what Danny boy do is he take the week offer and he get him a 40 and now he could use the car park whole week. But what would have happened if he had taken it bit by bit? Well, let's see how much he would have spent for each individual situation. And I could just sneak it in right here, right? I'll just sneak it in right here if that's okay with you. Now, the complete write-up of all of this and the solutions, those of you all, like I see Khalees there, anybody who needs student hub, will send it to you all on the WhatsApp, right? So look out. Anyhow, so 25 minutes. If you take 25 minutes, that how much is that? How much is that for the 25 minutes? Hey, that free boy. This is our free hours here. 7.5 hours. How much is that? 7.5 hours. These are add up question. 9.25. So these are 9.25 here. $9.25. 11 hours. 11 hours is how much? $15. $15. You all see where this question going? The 8.75 hours would have also been a $15 because it's over 8. And the 8 hours would be a 9.25. Up to 8 hours, they say 9.25. So we're just gonna get the total if paid separately. So we add up that. I don't want to waste time on just adding up that on the calculator. You all should know how to do that. The total if paid separately, once I could find my mouse, which is hiding, is equal to 48.50. So he saves, and you see the logic in the question. He says, so what y'all think about this question, boy? If something like this come in the exam, how much marks you getting out of the 9? How much marks you getting out of the 9? So the total of for this is 9 marks. And you just show why he saved the 850 there. That's a baby question. They get a sweet question in January for question 1, to be honest. It was cake and ice cream for them in January. So what we're going to look at right now, we're going to look at some sample questions based off of the years that based off of the last 3-4 years of CSEC. And let's see how you all do. Once again, the questions were sent beforehand to the WhatsApp groups in the student hub. What I might actually do on Jamboard, so I can zoom and need to deliver this. I might actually send it public. Maybe our Facebook groups and things. So those who want to take a practice for tomorrow's session, now are you okay that I'll send it in 2 places. I'll send it on the Discord. I don't know if there's Lini here. I'll send it on the Discord and I'll send it on the Facebook group. So the Discord group, the student group, there are like 30,000 people in it. That's a free thing. You can just join the Discord. I'll send it on the group there. And for what we're going to do tomorrow, and I'll send it on the Facebook group as well. With or without the use of calculator, calculate the exact value. Boom. With or without the use of calculator. How about with? So shift 2 3/4 divided by 1/3. You all get the answer ready? Plus shift and boom, 1 1/2. Equal 39/4. 39/4. Calculate the exact values. 39/4 is a solid answer. You can put that. I don't need to do anything else. They said with or without the use of calculator, and we use the calculator to get this. You can leave it as an improper fraction. So this was using the calculator. In March, Nate's salary was $3,200, $3,200. In April, January, February, March, April. Yeah, April come after March. April, his salary increased by 25%. So what is this topic called? You know, every time we do something on this channel, we like to name the topic, right? So this is just fractions. What is the topic here? So, and this topic is easy. There's a shortcut way to get this done. This topic is called percentage increase. There's one trick in percentage increase that I have to look out for. It's not in this question. Maybe we'll see it soon. So his salary increased by 25%. So the new salary has to be 100 plus 25, which is 125 as a percentage. So the new salary as a quantity, as dollars, is 125% of the old salary, 3200. Or some of you all would have worked out 25% and less added it. Just like that, you'll get the answer 4,000 when you put that in your calculator. So let's go do the next bit of this question. The next bit of this question is asking us about bacteria and them kind of things. You all understand what happens in a question 1? Feeling ready about the question 1? In the morning, the bacteria on the surface was this amount, 219,200. In the evening, the bacteria was 274,000. 274,000. Just short today. Right? The bacteria in the morning corrected 3 significant figures. So 3 significant figures means start at the first non-zero number, coming from this side. Coming from, sorry. Then you count 3. 1, 2, 3. And you keep those. So it's 219, and everything else goes to 0. The only thing you would have to look out for is if this number was 5 or more. So to 3 significant figures, this is actually 219000. Not to be mixed up with scientific notation, which would have found us moving the decimal point and then putting it multiplied by 10 to the power something. Right, the bacteria in evening in standard form. Yes, here we have it right there, standard form. So this question is testing us on everything. Use that everything question then, bro. So this is 2.74. Notice how we move the decimal point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places to the left. You know, the decimal places came 5 places from the right, move to the left. So we're going to put 10 to the power of 5, and we're going to keep the 5 positive because it was a huge number, right? This is actually smaller than the number really is. So that's that. Let's go see what's next in this question. Why is in the chat for yes if you understand? The final part of this question wanted us to determine the bacteria increase, which I thought was coming actually from the morning to the evening. So we want to see what the bacteria increase from the morning to the evening. So I already know you all know what to do for this. I'll let you all know about the Discord soon. To join, to get the percentage increase, this once again, this is percentage increase. In this scenario, we have, let's talk about percentage increase. I want to show you the trick that kills people every time. There's easy, and hard. Or let's not use the word hard, let's use the word watch out. There's 3 situations to look out for in percentage increase. Maybe you never even consider this. Maybe you're just so good at maths you never even consider this, but it's something to note about. How many of you all know what I'm going to talk about already? Do you have an idea what I'm going to say? Original, final, percentage increase. Percentage increase or decrease. Because it can be increase or decrease. I'm saying percentage increase, but percentage increase or decrease. So what could happen is that they could give you a situation where they give you the original value and the final value, and they ask you for the percentage. Why isn't it chat if you know what to do? Like if I tell you I had $100 and now I have $120, where's my percentage increase? You know what to do. Subtract. We just do that. We just do that earlier. That's what we're doing. So you understand how to do this one? If you understand this one, say I understand. You understand? I understand, right? There's a next situation that could come. They could give you the original. We discussing question 1s today. Question 2s, which is algebra, we'll discuss that tomorrow. They could give you the original, and then they could give you the percentage increase and ask you to find the final. For example, if I said 100 and you're going up, let's use a different number. Let's say 80 and you went up 10%, what's the new number? You understand? And of course, in this situation, the new number will be 88. You will go 10% of that. If you understand that one, say, I understand. I understand. So these two are easy. That's the most popular kind of percentage increase you see it all over the place you see it in school. You want to watch out for, I kind of blocking the word watch out. Let me see if I can bring up that word watch out. This is very important because time and time again, students get this one wrong. And nobody, how much of you all have here? 520, impressive. Nobody in the 520 of you all have to get this one wrong. Watch out for this. If they give you the final and they give you the percentage increase or decrease, that's when problems arise. So let's say I have, I spoke to my class about this ad nauseum. Let's say I have 90 and it represented a 20% increase. How much money I originally had. So the number one error is to take the 20% and attack that 20% of that. Do not do that. You cannot do that. So you all could probably work it out. We most likely will come around to a question like that, but I want you to ponder on it for now. There's another way to do it. There's only one way to do that question. So to determine the percentage increase, we're just going to simply minus. Let me just copy that for you all. We are just going to minus the difference multiplied by 100 over 1. And we will get our answer for the percentage increase in bacteria. So this was the original. This is the final. We minus. You always have the original and the denominator. We multiply by 100, and now we end up with 25% for the answer. The next question is going to test our knowledge of ratios once again. So let's go and see what we have in store with ratios. Ratios has been coming very consistently for like the last 10 years. It's always showing up here. So chances of ratios just popping up in the next 10 days in the exam, exam in 10 days, but it's very high. The ratio of cherries to apples to grapes in a box. So we have three things: cherries, apples, grapes. Cherries, apples, grapes, CAG, is 13 to 6 to 11. If the total number of apples and grapes is 510, determine the number of cherries. What is the key to our ratios question? You're going to ask yourself this in the exam. Hear my voice. Hear my voice in the exam room. What is the keys to a ratio question? What is the keys? The key to a ratio question is finding for one. So you need to find a way to link to one part. We already know apples and grapes is 510. Apples represent 6 parts. Grapes represent 11 parts. What does this mean? A total of 6 plus 11 parts represents how much fruits? 510. 17 parts represent 510. 1 part, finding for 1 is a division. 510 over 17. Determining number of cherries. Well, then you'll simply say the cherries would be whatever that 510 over 17 is. That's 1 part. How much parts is cherries? 13 times the 510 over 17. Boom. Write properly now. 510 over 17. So what is this going to be? This is going to be 390 cherries. Rate out of 10 how much you understand ratios now. You see in your way? Feel like you see in your way in ratios there? The 510 divided by 17 was a whole number, was 30. And then I took that 30 and multiplied by 13. And I got the 390. Or I could have just kept it as a fraction like I did here and work it out all together. That would have been pro movements. Pro movements. Feeling the ratio there? So that brought us to the end of our next 9 marks of question. We just completed 2 question 1s. So remember, question 1s, you usually have to brace yourself for some kind of fraction thing, scientific notation, or standard form, same thing, significant figures, or some other form of approximation, and then any topic in the big land of consumer arithmetic. Now, they seem to be doing a lot of weird things with the consumer arithmetic these days. Weird in terms of easier, or not weird in terms of hard. Like, instead of giving you core topic ideas, they're just giving you like common sense questions to work through. So maybe they will continue with that trend. Let's start another question and see if you all can get it out. What's the answer for these first questions? Whilst I take a look at the chat and see if I'm missing anything. About frequency and stuff that will show up in, if you're talking statistics, sequences still on the syllabus, you bet. It comes in series and sequences in the investigation question. You ready for everything except simultaneous equations? As a maths teacher watching this, that means you're not ready for a lot of things. Simultaneous equations, for example, is in matrices. It's in graph. It's in relation functions and graphs. Simultaneous equations is the middle of the syllabus. So if you are reach at simultaneous equations, I mean you're somewhere in the middle of the syllabus. Do you have a video on quadratics? That's the most popular video on my channel. Literally the most popular video on my channel, quadratics. Quadratics is the litmus test for CSEC maths. If you can do quadratics, chances are you're going to learn enough to pass CSEC maths. If you can't do quadratics, chances are you're not going to learn enough to pass CSEC maths. So what I mean, I'm not telling you to do. So we will come along to linear programming. In the meanwhile, y'all could here's the tip, everybody. Anything you want to know in CSEC maths, I probably taught it already. I started in 2018. So you want to search Kerwin Springer and you search the topic. If it's a video from a long time, you will see Kerwin Springer. I had the space and it's teaching it, but it's still me. So whether I have a space in my teeth or I don't have a space in my teeth, the math still strong. The math still strong. So I'll leave this for you all to do. You all have it down so far? You all have it down? Ding, 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 ding. So let me show you how to use the calculator. I could show you all this step. Let me watch me earlier. Watch my flow. Watch my flow. So I press this fraction thing. You all see my mouse, right? The tip of the mouse, I press that. Yeah, boom. And what I do is create a numerator and a denominator. Then I'm going to press shift and I'm going to press it again because I'm getting ready to write this in the numerator. So I'm going to write that now, right? 7.5. Practice it, innit? Practice it. Don't let the exam be the first time you use the people calculator. Press shift and do it again because it's the next mixed number. What some always do is try to put it in manually and it end up in real problems. Those are already sharp. You had to use the ABC thing, but that could also cause problems too. And then I went in the denominator and I put in the same 2 1/6. And now Ramco gas is what I'm cooking with here. Ramco gas, 23/13. Also known as, if I press shift on this, 1/10/13. Hey, while again, where the answers here for, boy? So those of y'all who need to stick it in again, stick around. We coming back. We will circle back and do some like this just now. So you all see how we get that answer, right? So this is what it was 23/13, 23/13, or 1/10/13 as a mix now. This one, let's put it in again. All you pay attention, eh? Pay attention. Imagine an online class and you ain't paying attention. Pay attention. So we press this. Watch my mouse, watch my mouse. Boom. Boom. Yes, you see it? And now I'm going to press 2.5 squared. So it had two ways I could do that. I put 2.5 and then press the squared. There's a snub here, x squared. Boom. Like that. You see how the squared going up? Or the other way I could do it is I could literally tell them I'm about to do it by pressing this X with the box. And then I press 2.5 and I go across and I press square. But I remember to come down. Come down from D. Remind yourself, come down from D. So you press across one more time and you're back on the flat level now. You're not in the superscript, you're not in the sky. So then you're going to press minus, well, what next? 3 point, right, you could put it in brackets, 3.25, and we do the same squared stuff. And we go down. You'll see now I'm doing it. 0.075 it is. Boom, equal. And I get minus 115/2. Minus 115/2. When they say exact value, don't bother to go to decimals. Save, just don't waste your time. You can get them as fractions. Fractions will always keep you safe as an exact value, right? Because if you go to decimals and it turn out the decimals continuing to go recurring, then you're in problems. For example, like if the answer was 1/3 and you go and put 0.3 as your answer again, that's wrong enough. 1/3 is not exactly the same as 0.3. There's an approximation. So when they say exact value, are you listening? Are you listening me? They say exact value. That is code for stay in fractions, big man. Now what are you supposed to say? Give me the answer in fractions. Don't bother to bring out no decimals here. You might bounce it. So let me go and do the next one. Part B. So for some of you all, this will be easier. For some of you, this will be easy. But that's always go. Question one is start off easy. But by the time we start to reach Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, next week, Friday, we get in the big boy topics. In a large box, there are this amount of beads. 80% are blue and the rest are red. All your friends know that we live and thing, right? This is completely free. The only thing I be doing is saying press like real plenty times and share. So other than that, you know, If you ain't subscribe it, and some of you will not subscribe for nothing. Give me a little subscribe. Let me see if you can reach a little 130. Wait, you're on the 130 already. Let me aim for the 140. In a large box, there are so many beads. 80% are blue and the rest are red. Calculate the number of blue beads in the box. All right, what are we trying to say here? Number of blue beads in the box. Oh, there's a normal percentage question. So we want 80% of the 16200. Boom bang. You understand? It's a percentage of the number of beads in the box. 80% are blue, 80% of 16 da 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 da. And according to Kiandra and Tafari and Gil, it's 12960 blue. Right, niceness. Some beads were used for a bedazzling project so that there are now this amount of beads remaining in the box. After the project, determine the percentage decrease in the number of beads. So they give us the final. We had the original, and they want the percentage decrease. Remember the table I gave earlier just now? Is this a hard one or an easy one? We have the original, we have the final, and we just want to learn the percentage decrease. That's an easy one. Real easy things. Easy things. And while gamer, this real easy for real though. So what you're gonna do is just to get the percentage decrease in this case, it's not increase like the last time. You're gonna take the final minus the original, put it over the original. Excuse me. We could do the other way around. How to do the other way around? The original minus the final, you're decreasing. My bad. My bad. Otherwise, you'll get a negative percentage, right? So you put the original minus the final, and then you multiply by 100 over 1. So let me just copy the working and show you how it look. How much was the decrease I get? 4860. That's what I get. 4860 was the decrease. So after I subtract, I got 4860. Just put new working here. Once again, all these solutions I will send to the WhatsApp groups of students in the student hub. This is the answer here. What I want to do is also for tomorrow, please God, Saturday, where we're going to be studying algebra at 7 p.m. Let your friends them know. Set that time on your calendar, on your phone to remind you, whoever. Subscribe. So the YouTube will remind you, good reason to subscribe. So algebra 7 p.m. What I want to do is I would just send the questions that I'm going to do. So it's almost like again a crash course. Send any questions ahead of time. And I want to send it to the Student Hub's Discord. There's at least 30,000 people in this. That started like 2 or 3 years ago. And it's free. You can join. And how to join the Discord? Just go on the Student Hub Instagram. Everybody, if you need to do it now, do it quick. Just don't get distracted on Instagram. You see someone, you go, just go and do it and come back fast. Go on the Student Hub Instagram. Go on the bio, click it, and you'll get the invite to go on the Discord. The invite to the Discord for the Student Hub all over the place. But there's one sure place you could get it. And you will be able to join. And when you join there, you'll be like, oh my gosh, I've been missing out a lot of things. If you know how to use Discord, you could find nearly any past paper you want there. Most of the websites that have all the past papers suck it out of that Student Hub Discord. You could go and check and see for yourself. The Student Hub Discord, right? And people discuss exams and things. So it's a nice little community. So that's one thing. And then the next thing is I'm in the Facebook group. So those of you all who are on Facebook tanties and aunties and uncles, I will send it to the Student Hub Facebook group. Student Hub Facebook group, I'll send it there as well. Next question, more studying. Let's keep it up. Bang. So see if you can get this one out, and that would mean we have 3 questions down so far. I still want to do our next question afterwards. I'm doing questions until you tell me to. All right, so that's enough. We know question 1 inside out now. Go easy, sir. That's enough question 1. So how do we get the answer for this? Yeah, you could still use it. There's a little updating based on the style of the questions being asked right now. There's a 10-day study guide that I have on my channel that's popular. That's what Amelia talking about. But it could still help you to kind of get bearings of how to study. Okay, so according to researchers, the average human blinks every 3 seconds if John is awake for 15 hours. So what's the topic we interested here? They're just checking to see if you know time, bro. And you know how to convert time and units and thing. You know your way around that. 3 seconds. Plenty ways to do this. I remember when I do questions similar to this, when it came out in the exam, people had all kind of different ways to do it. So what's the best way? Maybe convert the 15 hours into seconds and just divide by 3. Yeah, maybe just convert the 15 hours into seconds. So 15 hours is equal to 15 times 60, that is minutes, and then multiply by the next 60 and you reach into seconds. Somebody's telling me that is just what is saying, boy? Something, and then 54000 or something like that. And then blink, John will blink that number, whatever it is, and you have to divide it by 3. And hopefully you get 18,000 like everybody else. That's one of the easiest 2 marks you can get. But they're doing stuff like this. They bring in things that kind of, I don't know how to call it, a common sense kind of question. They bring in these kind of questions these days for question ones. What you really need to make sure you understand is percentage increase. We do quite a few already. So here we go again with the beginning style of the question. Let's see if I can get a little more zoom there for the people. Right? Question 1. Get your answers there. Get your answers there. Without the use of a calculator, evaluate this. Oh, how about with a calculator? By the way, when you're doing these questions, what is something to always look out for when you're doing this question? What is something that you need to keep your eye on? What is something that you need to keep your eye on when you're doing these questions? This part, boy. This part. You need to keep your eye on that part. You can't give the answer like how you want to give the answer. You need to be very peculiar with how you say your answer, because they want you to express the answer as a standard form, exact, this, whatever. You need to be very careful about that. Hopefully listening to me. Please be careful. So, put that in your calculator and put it in standard form. Somehow you gave me the answer and it's not even in standard form. How about that? How about that? So they say put it in standard form, but you want to put it in. You want to put it in J form or RG solo form. But J and RG solo not giving already marks. So with the cashier, you can type this in exact and them go organize it for you. You could just type it in exact like that. Boom. And them organize it for you. There's a way to keep your calculator in standard notation as well, but I'm going to waste my time showing all of that. So 2572. So 2572 is the answer when you do it, but in standard form, which is a real test thing being tested here right now, is you need to move this across 3 places. So 2.572, and you multiply by 10 to the power of 3. 3 places, you moved it, right? You all understand scientific notation. You understand that if the number is a decimal like 0.000135, and we move it like this to the right, we have to move the point to the right. Well, then, yes, we'll get the 1.35 again, or whatever it is. But this time we'll have negative in front. You all understand that, right? Understand that. Don't get tired. So this one, they want us to give our answers a fraction. So this is basically the exact form kind of talk in its lowest terms, right? So I'm going to watch this again. Somebody wanted me to do this. Hey, pay attention. How your name? You wanted me to do it again. Watch this. Somebody asking about the 12-hour crash course. Aliyah. Our 12-hour crash course will be on the 12th of March. So you can message your students about that. That one I'll be using topics and past paper questions together. Topic, past paper question, topic, past paper question. If you want last revision and you have 300 TT, jump in. Best thing ever. So 2 out of 3, and you multiply by, boom, 1/4. And then press shift and 2.5. Let me say something. The work that I do on YouTube, I don't hold back nothing. So I teach you everything in the free. If you ask anything in free session, I say math. Sorry, me. So if you use people, many people, you can watch the comments. You see the comments. Many people use the YouTube channel. My channel, there are other channels as well. There's the teacher from South, my partner, Terry. There are many other channels. Make IT simple, adaptation. You can make use of the YouTube channels and you could pass maths alone. If you want the extra push or you want guided study, like you want to study with me, that's where the crash courses and the student hub come into play. So you all understand what I'm saying, right? So this is 1/15. Boom shot. We just leave them with a nice 1/15 there. Make sure you're typing in the things properly. Express 12 as a binary number. Love it. We can talk about binary. All you want to talk about binaries? All you know bases. So this is under the topic of bases. Not the bases like exponents like 10 to the power of 3 and this is a base. Nope. Bases like different ways of counting. So if I'm counting in base 2, this will sound a little confusing. Don't be afraid if you don't understand what happening. I'll be like 0, 1, then I'll be like 2, 3, then I'll be like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's counting in base 2. If I was counting in base 3, I'd be like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just now it coming back to me. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, a little confusing. Like if you count, this is base 3. This is base 2. So in base 2, you're not allowed to use the number 2. In base 3, you're not allowed to use the number 3. But CSEC didn't expect you to know how to count in base 2 like that or base 3 like that. Leave that for maths teachers. If you understand it and you're pro in maths and think big up yourself. What CSEC really wants you to learn how to do is how to convert one way and then convert the next way. So you could think of it like languages. You could think of it like languages. You could think of it like the normal way to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The normal way you know to count. That you're born and grow and know to love to count. That's called denary or the decimal counting. Or that's base 10. That's the normal way. Nobody not to tell you how to count to 10 or how to count to 100. You just know that. That's no. You could consider that like English then. That's the language you know, right? If most of your English is all your first language. You need to learn how to convert from this form into like the base 2 form then. Base 2 is called binary. And how to convert backwards and forwards. You need to know how to do that. So I'm just going to show you quickly the two ways. So let me say I have the number 13 and I want to convert it to base 2. It's work like this. It's work like this. Watch. Have you ever seen this before? A kind of prime factorization thing from primary school. 2 into 13 is, how much times 2 could go into 13? If you know people is confused, it's a simple thing. It's a simple process. Listen. 2 into 13 is 6. 6.5 really, but we don't use decimals. We use the remainder. The remainder is the answer. The remainder is the secret sauce here. Put the remainder on the side and love it. Remainder 1. I like to put the remainder here. Some teachers just put the remainder 1 spot higher. I prefer to put it here for a reason. 2 are going to 6 3 times, no remainder. So put remainder 0. You catching what happening here? 2 will go into 3 times, 1. 2 will go into 3, 1 times. But you have a remainder 1. Take how long you need to take to understand that. I know some people take a little while to wrap. Ain't done yet. 2 will go into 11, into 1. You need to go down until it's reached 0. 2 can't go into 1, 0 times, but there's still a remainder 1. You will always have a last remainder of 1 to deal with. Always. And here the secret now. You read the thing going up like this. And that's the answer. I hope all your teachers teaching all that now. If your teacher never teach you that right, my teacher, leave me in the dark. Teacher never teach you that. Right? I get leave in the dark, neighbor. I get leave in it. But that's 1101 base 2. That's how you do it. You read it going up. So don't go up for 1011. You read it going up like that. 1101. All you want me to do a next one, or you understand? Do a next one, or you understand? Because it's come for like 2 marks every now and then. Next one, or understand? Got it? Do a next one. Do a next one. So this one was 1101 to base 2. I'm just doing samples here. So let me do a little bigger one. So normally in CXCs get small numbers, they're like 7 and 9 and things. So it's finished real fast. But let me give you a little bigger number so you can feel the joy now. You can feel the joy a little better. Go ahead and do this one there. I'm giving all your heads. So express 21, which is the number that you know, 21 that you know, and express it as a binary number. Express it in base 2. This is 21 base 10. You can put a little subscript 10 here to show that it's base 10. But we ain't going to do that. And bring him down to size. What it is. So somebody asks if binary get removed, and then it get put back. So binary has been back in the syllabus since 2018. Unfortunately, some of the teachers didn't get the memo yet. Binary is back in the syllabus. So what is the answer? Let's see. You send down at 2. 2 could go into that 10 times. While you're fussing about this division, right? 2, bro. 2 into 10 is 2 into 21 is 10. And 2 tens are 20, but remainder 1. 2 into 10 is 5, remainder 0. 2 into 5 is how much time 2 go into 5? Not 3, because 2 3s are 6, right? So 2 in so 2 times, right? But you have a remainder 1. 2 could go into 2. 1 time remainder 0. Again, some weird answers, boy. And then 2 will always go this last part, right? 2 will go always do this last part. 2 will go into 1, 0 time remainder 1. Well, how you read this? You read this going up like this. This number is symmetrical, boy. So your answer is going to be 21 in base 10 is equal to 10101 in base 2. The next thing you need to know is how to switch back. So spend how much time you need to spend on understanding that. Watch over this piece of the video, try different numbers, see if you're feeling it. Type the number in Google, check it. You can check your answers in Google. Ask what is this number in base 2, and Google will tell you. Practice it. Those of you who do IT all have an advantage, because I think IT students study this separately as well. Let's learn how to send it back. How to send the number back is a little longer process, but it's easier. So you have 10101. To send this number back into base 10, remember we know it's 21 already, yeah? You need to know the place values for base 2. The place values. So the place values for base 2. The place values for base 10 is what? We know that, right? The 1s, the 10s, the 100s, the 1000s, the tens of thousands. So if I tell you this number is 23461, right? 23,461. You don't even think about that anymore. You don't even think about that. Place values, that's standard 3 thing, right? Well, it has place values for base 2. In place values, it start with 1, then you go to 2, you can memorize it. 4, 2 by 4 is 8, 16. That's how it works. The next one will be 32. Next one will be 64. You catch it? If you're doing place values for 3, it'll be 1, 3, 3, 3 with 3s are 9, then 27, then 27 times 3 is 81, going up the road like that. All right, so what is happening here, ladies and gentlemen? Well, after you get your place values, you need to multiply them to create a product in this column. And it's usually real simple multiplication because they're either multiplying by 1 or 0. So I'll show you how to do it on your calculator just now. 1 by 1 is 1, 2 by 0 is 0, 4 by 1 is 4, 8 by 0 is 0, 16 by 1 is 60. What's the last step? The last step is to add up all the products. So all the products will be 16 plus 4 plus 1 is 20 plus 1 is 21. So we just converted this number, which was in base 2, to this number, which is now in base 10. So let's see if we can remember how to do this on our calculator. So what I'm going to do is, listen, people, this might save your life. If you're in the exam, you forget the method, you didn't really, your teacher never teach it, you only just realize, what in the world is this? You can actually convert numbers to base 2. You just realize this. So you have the good calculator. So maybe you could use the calculator in the exam and get the answer, right? Save yourself a mark. Well, here's what you're going to do. You press mode, you press 4 to go into base. And I forget what you need to do after that. All right. So I think it's one of these things you're going to press here to switch into whichever base you want. You see, you have decimal, hexadecimal, binary, and up to something. I forget what it is. So let me say we're in binary. I'm going to try something here. 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. Right. I press equal. Now I'm going to press decimal and hope for the best. Yes, boy. So that's how you can do it, right? So watch it again. Press mode, put your calculator in the base mode, which is number 4. Let's say I'm in the decimal system now, and I want to change 21 into base 2. Press 21 and press equal, and now I'm going to press binary, and you see the numbers there, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. Don't you just love the Casio calculator? Don't you? If you had the Casio, if you had this calculator, get a little kiss right now. Say, yes, my brother. You're holding it down for me. All right, so y'all can practice that. Let's see if I can load up a new jammers here. There we go. Where were we? I forget what question we was on. We was expressing 12 as a binary number. So we needed to express 12 as a binary number. So we take the 2. 2 into 12 is 6, remainder 0. 2 into 6 is 3, remainder 0. 2 into 3 is 1, remainder 1. 2 into 1 is 0, remainder 1. The answer is 1100 base 2. Rated out of 10, how much you understand that, ladies and gentlemen? That bird smelling real good downstairs, bro. Again, hungry. I think we might have to finish this class out of the fact that I just hungry right now. 10 out of 10. Okay, nicely done. So the next question is a percentage increase again. So if you watch back in the last 4 or 5 years, percentage increase is like a core part of what is being tested now. What is this? Is this an easy one or a hard one? They bought the machinery for this amount. In the first year, depreciated by that, and this, okay. So this is a bit of two things. This is a bit of depreciation. It could be thought of in a way of compounding interest like depreciation, but the fact that they give us 2 separate years, this is really a question on percentage decrease. It's just a question on decreasing year by year, and can you do it? So I'll show you the shortcut method because I'm sure most of you all know the long way of getting 8%, subtracting, getting 12% of the new figure and subtracting. So the shortcut method is to be like after the first year, it's going to be 100 minus 8%, which is going to be 92%. So therefore, after the first year, if I lay here and screaming at 3 young sons, right? And there's be doing all kind of thing. I want 0.92 multiplied by 27500. If you're seeing it, type I seeing it, sir. I seeing it. You're seeing it? Are you seeing what do they? 92% is 92 over 100 or 0.92, and I just multiplied one time. So I take away the 8 one time to make my life simple, bro. And I get my answer. Then I say after the second year, it's going to be 100% minus 12, which will be 88% of last year. So what I want to do is after second year now, I'll take the 0.88 now, or 88 over 100, and multiply it by the figure that I have in this. I'm going to multiply it by that figure there, and I get my answer. So let me see what them people them saying if it's correct. What is the people them saying? The people them is saying 25300, and then I'm gonna take that 25300 and put him through the middle, and I will get 22264. Check it on the calculators, make sure we stating good things here. That easy percentage increase kind of vibe. So you all see what going on here? You can envision it. You buy this machinery after a year, you use it now, boy. What kind of machine you gonna buy for? You could buy machine. What kind of machine you're looking to buy? So you buy, I don't know what you buy. You buy a tractor, and the tractor after 1 year it gone down by 8%. So what I did is I take the 8% and remove it from the 100 one time, so it's 92% of the first value. What some of you all will do is find 8% and then subtract it. That's totally fine. If you want to do that, fine, free up yourself. And then I find 12%. Remember, not of this anymore. I find 12% of the new value. That's the trick here. So I found 12% out of this. Or what I did is I take the 12 out of 100 again, 88, and attack the 88 with that. Okay, let me keep it pumping. Let me keep it pumping. Them fellas overdoing it, really screaming downstairs. Oh my gosh. Are not hearing them screaming though? Are they hearing them screaming? All right, so what we're going on here now? The table below shows how many, yeah? And people with the Casio calculators, when they come in the exam, them going to be looking down on all the sharp people, like, you know. How do you do fractions, bro? With the ABC? Yeah. Calculate the percentage of the total amount of fruit sold on Saturday. What is really going on here? The table below shows how many fruits a vendor sold on Saturday. The total amount of each fruit he initially had is given in the third column. I don't understand this question. What are they trying to ask you? What are they really trying to ask? Is something being left out? Calculate the percentage of the total amount of fruit. Or you need to add up the amount of fruit sold. This is the total number of fruit. Oh, so they didn't sell everything. They didn't sell everything earlier. They didn't sell everything. So 22 plus 30 plus 60. 6 and 2 is 8. So we have 68. They sold 68. They didn't sell everything. So you're supposed to fill in the blanks. So 68, but you don't want that. You want the percentage. So the not sold or sold, the total amount of fruit sold. So percentage sold is going to be 68 out of 100, and you multiply that by 120. Scoop, scoop. Where you going to get it? Scoop the scoop, 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 scoop. Skip the bam, skip the bam. You get 56.67%. What they asked for, they didn't ask for exact value, so that's cool. We can give them that. Just like that, we finish another question one. Let's look at another question one. Let's look at another question one. I'm going to try and see if I can find a question one where we may have to do the percentage increase. Easy things for easy things. All right, let me try for a tougher question. Question one hasn't been showing up like monsters. The hardest question one I've seen a while was what the question with Jenny and Sammy. Here we go. Without a calculator, give you answer to 2 decimal place. So they want 2 decimal place approximation now. So we're doing one more question one. Stay with me there earlier. So what happened in here earlier? Of course, the testing the use of BudMath, but with your calculator, you're safe. Just type it in as you see. By the way, learn how to change your calculator back into normal mode or reset there. To reset, press Shift and 9. and follow the instructions on the screen. Don't frighten, you can clear everything. 65.66 minus 2.53 multiplied by 18.62. If you calculate already, know to organize yourself in a bud massish fashion. So what your calculator do there, boy? Your calculator tell you should multiply first. That's what they do. Your calculator tell you that multiplication was real sticky. So multiply first, my brother. Something so your calculator learns. Yeah, your calculator tell you multiply first. See? Good things. Your calculator save you from your own self. But you want your answer to two decimal place, so it can be 18.55. And then we're doing this question. It's a little tiny, but what the numerator is 8.24 squared over 5.9, and then I come on this side and a minus 7.69. So this question is really testing how well you can use your calculator. And 3.818. So in this case, this is a prime example where I would round up, because the number after 1 is greater than 5, or 2 decimal place. This is actually 3.82. And these are two decimal places, two decimal places, both of them. Very nice. Let's see what the next part of the question was, because the next part of the question is a little more challenging. You gotta think. The next part of the question is how they bring in hard questions these days. So I want to use this question as an example. If they bring a tough consumer arithmetic question, it will very likely show up something like this. Look at this one, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, take a fine look at this question. Take a long look at this soldier here. Let me see if a party planner has a limited budget for blah 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 blah. Right, I kind of need to read it. The party planner has a limited budget for upcoming event. She will need to figure out how much it will cost a client to rent a space and pay persons for meals. Rental space, person per meals. All right. So what they're doing in some of these consumer arithmetic questions is they're including this. Now we know this is algebra. This is an algebraic equation, and we're tying on variables and constants. So if you notice, this 400 came from the rental space. This is exactly like how it comes in these days. That we look to finish in like a 15 minutes there. I see people asking how long I'm going. So you notice how this is 400, and this C1 here, read the question. This is the cost at this volume 1 rate. So C1 is 400 for the rental and 975 for food. A lot of y'all going on graduations and thing, and for the longest while, 3 years now are trying to plan a whole big, Caribbean graduation. I don't know if this year might be the year I pull it off. That'll be interesting. Some people didn't get their grads and that kind of thing. Like a whole one big location and have our grads. But anyhow, we can't talk about that now. We have to focus on X. So 9.75 by X. 9.75 by X. I just really need you all to understand how the consumer arithmetic question can be tied into the consumer arithmetic question. So it's not too bad, right? 9.75 per person. So if there are X persons in attendance, it will be 9.75 multiplied by X. That's what they're trying to say. And then the next part of the question is determine the cost if 250 people attended. Watch. Determine the cost if 250 persons attended. Now remember, the formula was C1 is equal to 9.75 by the number of persons plus the 400. So that question is basically asking us an algebra style thing. This could have very well come in the algebra section of the number 2. But they're doing it in number 1 now. So whatever reason there for that, tie them. But it's 9.75 by 250 persons, and then we add the 400. And what answer you all getting? The class telling me that you should get 2837.50. 2837.50. right? So we're gonna do number 2, but it's that time. It's that time, 1:20. So you know what time it is. It's time to tell me what country you're from. Shout out your country day. Let me see what kind of countries we're dealing with right now. Normally it's Trinidad, Guyana, and Jamaica running the scene. Jamaican. See somebody asked earlier. Trinidad, Guyana, Guyana, Barbados, Vinci, St. Vincent, Guyana, Barbados, Jamaica, Trinidad, Barbados, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, Jamaica, Guyana. BVI, let's do CXC. Let's do CXC or you just here for fun, bro. Barbados. Trinidad, Jamaica, Barbados. I could be that Barbados to Dominica, Guyana, Trinidad, BVI. Jamaica, like Jamaica or Jamaica over Trinidad tonight, boy. Trinidad, Guyana, St. Lucia in the building. All right, St. Martin. I want to say Somali, Europe. What are you doing here? All right, I can't scroll fast enough. I lost the bottom of the chat. Antigua. And this man say Francis. India. All right. Red, white, and black. All right. Let me finish up. Strong there. Suppose that the client has a budget of 4,000. What is the most number of persons they can so already brace yourself for this. Top students, you know what I'm talking about. They will want you to go in reverse. They give you the formula, they make you do a direct substitution with the number of people. Now they give you the money and they want you to go in reverse. So in other words, you're substituting to the subject of the formula now and seeing if you what X you could get. So you'll put, let me just copy the working for time's sake. Watch the answers there. Let me just copy it. So we're looking at something like I should do it. So we want it to be 4,000. What is the most? The budget cannot exceed 4,000. So it must be X must be less than. So this the budget can't exceed the 4,000. So then we have 9.75x plus 400. Bring across the 400, we get 3,600. So you get 4,000 minus 400. It's greater than 9.75x. So you get 3,600. It's greater than 9.75x. Then you get x is, I'm going to do that something thing that could throw people off. So you get 3,600 over 9.75 is greater than x, or equal to x. Swap it around, so I'll switch the signs. 3,600 over 9.75. How much will I get? 369.23. So you get, I'll just finishing up over here, you get x is less than 369.23. It don't matter that you got a little extra. You can't have a half of a person, so you always had a round down. It don't even matter if it wasn't 73099. You still had a round down. X is most number of persons. This is a case where you always round down. There's always going to arise a case like that in CXC where you either always have to round up or round down. It's 369 because you can't get a point of a person, right? And if you put the point, they will take away max. So let me just finish up here. They said at another ballroom, the rental space. Last year I did other questions as well. I think 2 different questions I did last year, so you could always check over last year if you want to get a little extra. At another location, volume 2, the rental space is 850 plus 7.50 for each meal per person. What? Right, so this is the fixed cost and then 750 per person. So C2 is 7.5x plus the 850. Why is in the chat if you understand? They wanted me to rewrite the formula. Remember C1 was, what was C1 earlier? C1, the first formula was 9.75 per meal. So you had to multiply that by the x, and then but you only added on 400. This was C1, but this one is C2. So you're already seeing where the question going to end up. Hopefully you're seeing where the question is going to end up. They're going to give you something like with the two of them, which one is the best score, so when they're going to be the same. I'm going to see what it is. Oh, is Y. Sorry, thank you, is Y. They want us to use Y this time. That's okay. They want us to use Y. If Y gets at it, so Y in this case. That's good. That will help differentiate. That will help differentiate the two when we are going into the next part. So watch what they wanted us to do in the next part, right? Watch this. Determine the number of people that can attend the event such that the cost of rent in each of the ballroom are the same. So they found a clever way to incorporate the two equations. They want to know in what scenario for volume 1, volume 2, the number of people, sorry, the cost for the rent will be the same. In what scenario? So if the number of people that can attend the event such that the cost of rent either volume 1 or 2 is the same. And in this case, we want this is x is equal to y. So we could just call it x, or we could just call it a or b or p or anything like that, right? So since x is equal to y, I'll just call all of them x. So, and I want a situation where C1 is equal to C2 and x is equal to y. So now, as in, this would help differentiate it, but they want us to equate it to each other. What's the equations? What was the equations? It was 9.75p plus 400 is equal to 7.5p plus 850. I use p here, but let's just use both as x this time. I can use p. Let's just call both x because x is equal to y. You all understand what I'm saying? So I don't need to put x and I don't need to differentiate between x and y now. And it's 7.5, 7.5. So then I'm going to bring it across 9.75x minus 7.5x. You all understand that it's tying algebra into the consumer arithmetic. You bring across the 400, 850 minus the 400. So you get 450. 9.75 minus 7.5. Somebody can tell me what that is. That's 0.25, 2.25, 2.25x. So x is going to be 450 divided by 2.25, 2.25 into this, which is 200. Yes, 200. So x is 200. So when there's 200 people involved, when there are 200 people involved, the cost at both of the ballrooms will be the same. So how you all will really benefit from these sessions is by practicing. And to help with the practice, what I'll do is the notes I will drop into the Discord channel. I want to try and drop it by tonight, but y'all could check back in the morning to make sure it's there. And all you can do it in the day. Set a little timetable for yourself. Set aside some time to do some of the questions in the day. I'm going to drop next class. Next session is going to be algebra, guys. Very important, right? So I'll drop the notes, which just have the questions, and I'll drop it in the Discord. I'll also put it on Facebook. And you all will pop in and question twos. You all will pop in and try and get them done. At least one or two for tomorrow's session. Additionally, if you all want to sign up for any of the 12-hour crash courses, let me show you all when we have in them. Hold on. They cost 300. If you're not doing any lessons anyway and you want to pop in for lessons, you could anywhere in the Caribbean you could access it. Just give me 1 second there. I'm bringing it up. I'm bringing it up. While you're bringing it up. Hold on. There is I get it. No mouse. You'll find down here. Yeah. So if you're into that and you want to get, you feel you can handle a 12-hour session, this is when it's happening. We have AdMaths, you have bio, chemistry, English, geography, HSP, IT, maths, physics, POA, POB. 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. These are the dates for that the crash course is happening. So you can look at these dates here to sign up for the crash course. The number will be +1-868-310-1306. There's also a Jamaican number that you can WhatsApp. We have a Jamaican number to talk to admins as well. Jamaica people, tomorrow I got the number for you. Where the number go? Where the number gone? So the cost is 300 TT or 7,000 Jamaican dollars. Jamaican dollars are different. TTD. You all can WhatsApp this number to anywhere in the Caribbean. You can WhatsApp this number. Just remember to put the +1-868. And if you want to sign up for these. So that's that. What else I can say? I can say tomorrow, please God, we'll be looking at algebra. You all can screenshot this. What's missing down here is POA and POB. This is when the exams are, and this is when the crash courses take place. So the teachers will go through past papers related to topics, give you the key information for the topics that I need to learn, that kind of thing. Discord link. If you're looking for the Discord channel, the Discord server actually, the Student Hub Discord server, give you a little thing here, invite. I want to see if I could post it right here. Hang on. Let me see if I could post it right here. Bang, boom, invite people. The maximum number of server invites has been generated. Admins can merge. Okay, well, all right. Really happening here, boy. And I'll see I'm going to give a lady. Don't worry, I'm going on Instagram now. Again, it for lady now. Those are who delete Instagram because you don't want yeah. You don't want to get distracted. Again, ideally, don't worry yourself. Link 3. The Student Hub. It's in link in bio thing. Chat with Discord people, invite, copy. Boom, I get it. Yo. Joseph, where's the scene? There's the link. So you could use that link and join the Student Hub Discord. This is where I'll deposit the notes, and all you can just check through the Discord. Don't get distracted. It's real people talking there. Check through the Discord and organize yourself. Any other thing? Tomorrow, please God, is algebra. 7 p.m. is when we start. I make all my announcements on Instagram and on TikTok. So your last order of business is if you're still on these platforms, you could go and follow me there. Until then, people, love and blessings. Looking forward to a nice session tomorrow, please God, right? It cannot be accepted. I mean, it cannot be accepted by the real fighting while you're down, boy. Anybody get through the Discord link? Check it through. If you didn't get through, go on the Student Hub Instagram and check it out. Oh, yeah, out there. I don't want to drag it on too long. We can talk tomorrow. They can let me know if I get through tomorrow, right? They'll let me know if I get through tomorrow. Yeah, some people get in. People getting in. Maybe maybe try a different email. Maybe you do stupidness with that. Discord real finicky, you know. So like if you get banned with an email in Discord, you can get banned from other servers and things. So try a different email, try a different browser, that kind of thing. Later, people. See you later tomorrow. Jamaica, 6 p.m. tomorrow. Only an hour behind. So you gotta be early. 6 p.m. Everybody else. Rest of the Caribbean, 7 p.m. later. Belize, if you're anybody from Belize here, well, you're 2 hours down the road. So let me make the necessary adjustments. All right, later.